It's just not happening today.
It's fine.
I'm not going to have Discord today.
It's fine. You got a nice body.
It's not a mosquito.
Is it a moth?
It's a gnat
It's
of
not.
some
It's
kind.
not a gnat.
It's a gnat funicello. And welcome back, everyone, to Roll for Initiative.
You gonna do it like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, keep that one. That's great.
Welcome back to Roll for Initiative.
Please help us. We're all being held hostage.
I want to go home.
We're all here totally
go
by our
home,
own free
Mommy.
will. What I think is that something about that bread is doing things to those people that could make someone immunus.
Yeah, I've got a simple life here now. I can make horseshoes and scythe blades. There's no one making demands of you. There's no one opening extra dimensional gates and pulling horrors through. And you could just...
Did that happen to you?
No. Welcome back, everyone, to Roll for Initiative, brought to you by our lovely sponsors, Cobalt Press, benefiting the one, the only, the undefeated Doctors Without Borders.
They have a lot of helpful things, and
We're getting a
borders
little
are not
Intros are
among
getting
them.
worse and worse and worse.
And by worse and worse and worse, he means better and better and better
More
and better.
chaotic, because that's what we know you like.
Yeah, it's all for you,
Smash that
audience.
subscribe button.
Smash
just
that subscribe button.
give it a little
Smash
tickle.
that donate button. Smash that donut button. All right. So what are we doing tonight?
Donuts.
Staying up
Tales
too
of the
late,
Valiant.
We're clearly a little
some point.
punchy. Yep, that is correct. What are we doing tonight? We are playing Tales of the Valiant, and we are telling a lovely, non-threatening, non-horrifying fairy punk tale in the safe town of Entrieur in the nation of Gallia, where we have recently conducted a burial of the deputy, Mr. Sean McGinn. We recently saw members of the Pack, a gang of street toughs, helping inter the body of the deputy, which is strange, as people mourn softly, and the grave is packed tight with earth. What would you like to do?
What time is it?
5 p.m.
5 p.m. Okay. Does anybody have any idea? I would leave.
Before I leave, I would approach the family of the deceased and respectfully wait until they allow or acknowledge me and allow me to come talk to them.
It doesn't take too long. They're in more of a state of shock than deep grief right now. This is very fresh, and it's very strange to have a funeral the day of someone passing.
I'm so sorry for your loss.
Thank you. Yeah, it's the dad is just kind of nonverbal. It's all so sudden. Thank you for all you've done to help him.
I did what I must, and he was a good lad, and he did what he needed to do.
No, he was the best. I don't really know what we're going to do. What do you do now?
Well, I cannot tell you what you must do because that is a journey that is different from individual to individual. But I hope I can give some level of comfort. I know that I am new comparatively, and what I bring to this town is different, and perhaps you don't believe, or perhaps you don't wish to believe. And I don't want to force anything on you. But I know he believed, and out of respect for him, I hope I can give some comfort in letting you know that he's not too far gone from you, that you will see him someday, that he's in the mother's loving embrace. He's loved, he's warm, he's safe, and he's amongst where he needs to be until the next journey starts.
That's lovely. Thank you.
We all come to the mother's embrace in the end, so it will happen to us all eventually, some form or another, and you will be with your boy in all his perfection and with all of his love.
He was perfect. I gotta go. Thank you.
Of course.
I don't know. And
You have no idea how hard it was to hear you say, he's not far, and for me to say, exactly, he's right there in the ground. I didn't.
That was a stabby moment. That was such a stabby
it's
moment.
a real stabby priest all of a sudden. This is two priests just a stabbing.
Yeah.
You notice the impressively beautiful young man with the heavy hood kind of give the old couple a hug, and they're escorted off with the ship with the constable.
Before the hooded man leaves, do I have an inkling of who he is at all?
Give me a history check.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just remembered that was a thing. Because from the last episode, I sort of
I swapped out my amazing mug. Okay. History. Nani? Where? H. Letters. There it is. That is a 12.
12. You don't really know. You know that the pack has a hierarchy to it, and you notice that the other members are paying deference to this guy a little bit, and he seems to have some sort of emotional investment with the McGinn couple. And he turns to you. He's like, "The dragon would like a word when you get a chance. All of you."
Call it. We will meet if we must, but before you go,
Of course.
I'm not going to preach to you and tell you what you do is right or wrong. However, I do wish to thank you for being here today and giving them comfort in the time of need.
Right. He was a relation of one of ours.
As long as what you do doesn't terrorize the good people of this town.
Not the good ones.
Then be on your way with peace.
Well, thank you very much. And he takes a deep bow. Do you have one of your number that is most responsible for the actions of your little party?
Well,
those ghosts.
A party, I think, is a generous word for whatever this loose confederation of strangers is.
My apologies, your loose confederation of strangers. And as the sun kind of sets a little bit, he pulls his hood back. And you see these eyes are like glowing sand on his kind of golden skin. He's got this shimmering long hair. He's like, Alexander Valle. Very nice to meet all of you.
Another name for the list.
Alexander.
Thank you, Alexander.
Perhaps...
Perhaps...
Sorry, could you spell his last name?
Yeah, Valle. It's very, very nice to meet all of you. I'm a member of the pack, and the pack does stick together.
Fine motto.
Thank you very much. I wish I could take credit for it. The McGinns were good people. They were absolutely under our protection.
Your protection?
Well, yes.
From what, may I ask?
The pack is not the only organization that sets up shop here in the little town of Montreal. We're a trade route.
Set up shop where?
Oh, that is... You should find out soon. Are you clearly... Again, the dragon would very much like... do you have time tonight?
Perhaps...
Well, I suppose we could make some time.
Well,
If I may.
Yes.
We have had a long day.
You do look a little bit worse for wear. No judgments, of course. But your human friend is...
Just fiddling with cufflinks, kind of hanging out,
Covered
staring
in-
off into space.
blood.
Oh, this? I promise you, none of it's mine.
Some of it is
Some of
actually...
it is clearly
Actually, a
yours.
lot of
But
it.
some
Yeah,
of
like
it
a
is
like a
he's not good at
surprising
keeping
amount.
I
his-
didn't want to worry a stranger. Hi, I'm Victor.
He's
Lovely
not
to
good
meet you,
at
Victor.
keeping his
And he
blood
shakes your
inside.
hand.
Yep.
His hand is ice cold.
Okay.
Okay. We have had, as you must already know, no rest since the attack. And
Please.
as you can clearly tell from the doctor, we have not had rest, we have not had time to freshen up, and if it is something as important as meeting the dragon, I believe if he's understandable and can wait, perhaps tomorrow.
The dragon.
Unless the dragon has a shower.
No, the dragon is impatient, but he is not unreasonable. You should get a meal and a shower,
Quite.
and perhaps we shall send a messenger in the morning. It will not be me.
Indeed. Thank you for your understanding.
My pleasure.
I feel like the morning messenger is going to be worse, and that's okay.
He's not going to be as pretty.
He's not going to be as
Probably.
polite.
Maybe he'll be
You never
prettier.
know.
Maybe it will be a prettier lady or some such. I don't know.
Well, let's hope our wishful thinking is true.
Kirka is just...
Thanks.
Bless you.
Kirka is just staring at this guy.
Yeah, I'm used to it. It's all right.
Well, it's just trying to figure out what's his deal. You know,
Make an
like,
insight check.
yeah. Actually, it would help if I actually had my character sheet up. Hold on, 1 second. One moment, please.
Unprepared.
I was prepared, and
You have
then
any
somehow I've
class
navigated away. There we are.
Like passive abilities for your class.
What's that?
I was talking about
There.
I saw it.
9.
9. He's mysterious.
He's
I mean, I am-
mysterious and very beautiful.
I have very high perception, especially passive perception.
More of a class ability, like a.
Let's see.
Yeah, my
I can-
passive perception's 14. Damn. Can't.
Let's see.
Even with that, you wouldn't really be able to just intuit it. But if
He's
you,
golden skinned, golden eyed.
So, the one thing I can say is I have aware as an outcast. You have exceptional situational awareness. When you select this talent, you gain the following benefits. When you roll for initiative, you can treat D20 roll of 9 or lower at 10.
That's great.
Or as a 10. As long as you are conscious, you can't be affected by surprise conditions. Hidden targets don't have advantage on attack rolls made against you.
More of class abilities rather than talents, although that is a very cool talent. Cool press.
It's coming.
Can I use my old soul?
Yeah, would you please read that to me?
Yeah, so this is a background option with Kobold that I thought was really, really neat sauce.
Yeah.
It's called Life's Old Soul, and it's called Life's Little Nudges. The smallest moments have a way of sparking hidden memories, whether a kind gesture from a stranger, a trifle from a bygone era, or the aroma of something comforting. The innocuous things in life have a habit of triggering memories that aren't really yours. When you least expect it, or perhaps when you most need it, something triggers a past life's memory or experience. Possibly with practice and at a GM's discretion, especially if your GM is super cool and nice and creative and handsome and funny and cool. You can learn to harness these triggering experiences for your own gain. Have I ever seen eyes like his before? Like, do
Give
his
me a
like?
history check with advantage because of that.
Okay.
While that is happening, maybe there's something here. As he's about to leave us, I would like to shake his hand.
He's kind of bowing and nodding.
What's a dirty 21?
Oh, nice. Okay. And you notice again, ice cold.
Yeah.
What was that, Kate?
It's dirty 21.
Okay, and then what were you about to say, Kate?
I would like to let Kate's thing happen.
Love that. With a 21, there's something bestial behind those eyes, something hungry.
Okay.
The 21, it's hard to say because this person seems more robust and more full of life than most people, but there's something desperately hungry behind those eyes.
Okay.
Are they like a wolf size?
Almost, yeah.
All right.
Wolfman.
So
Very handsome wolfman. Why is
I don't know how this will
Yeah.
turn out, but as I shake his hand
Yeah.
and feel his cold touch, I cast Glimpse the End,
Okay.
which allows me to examine the life force in a creature you touch and sense when it will expire. You and the creature share a vision of the most likely way in which the creature will die.
And the creature?
And the creature. I didn't
That's-
read that part, but we'll go with it.
That's
Yeah,
going to be
too late now.
harsh for this dude.
You both sense approximately how far into the future the event occurs. The vision is not a prophecy or a definitive fate. Life can take unexpected twists and turns. It is, however, the most likely outcome at the current time unless the creature alters the course of its life. The vision can seem to last as little as a few moments or as long as 30 minutes to you and the spell's target, but in the objective world, the knowledge is received instantaneously.
Okay.
I just think that
You're about to
think-
give this random stranger a religious
So-
experience.
while I do this, considering it's just, I think to him it was more of like a kind of almost out of a weird habit where he did that, and instantly the goal, it seems, is more of not necessarily to see his end, but in the process of his end, learn more about who he is as a person.
Sure.
Why would his life end, and use the choices he would have made to get to that point inform me of what kind of person he is.
You're immediately taken aback. You've done this before. You're whisked away, and you recognize a glimpse of Ember Spire, the capital of the Glorian Empire. You catch another glimpse, and you're in an exotic brothel. And you realize people are dressed in a way that they used to dress, not so much anymore. This is probably 150 years ago. This is an old style of garb, and you see a beautiful young man lay back, and you catch his glimpse in a mirror as he smiles and looks at his own reflection. And you see him look, and there's a beautiful woman laying directly above him. And he looks back at the mirror, and he sees only himself. And as he looks back, you see the woman's face contort as she bears huge fangs that plunge deep into his neck. And you realize this is long ago.
Oh, Victor, your friend.
Vamp wolf.
Okay.
Is it on you?
And he just smiles. Memories.
What is my dog
apologies.
doing?
I would assume, if you don't mind me driving Ember for a moment,
Please,
she is hiding behind your legs and like trembling.
Yeah.
And as soon as I let go, I look at him and I go, "You are what you are, I am what I am."
And you're lovely, by the way.
Thank you. And as long as what you are is to help
Right.
and bring life to the world,
That's the one.
I have no quarrels with you, my friend.
But we don't
Thank
know
you. Well, I have no quarrel with you directly. You have avenged one of ours, and I thank you for that. We will send a messenger in the morning. I bid the rest of you adieu. And he just kind of disappears into the shadows.
I know we don't know that yet.
We don't know any of that.
But I did just put in my notes, the pack is vampires, y'all.
As soon as he leaves, and I'm assuming at this point the rest of the crowd has left.
Yeah.
Has anybody? You said you were about to head out.
Yeah, I would be. I'm
were
not
gone.
interested in
Oh,
sticking
I
around.
would caught you before you left if you were walking away.
Yeah.
Doctor,
Retha.
would you accompany me to the blacksmith tomorrow? It's late. I don't think tonight would be good. I told her about the mushrooms.
About the mushrooms.
Yeah.
What exactly did you tell her?
That it's in people, I think.
So you're causing a panic amongst the public.
She's not panicking.
Okay.
I don't think she knows how to panic.
Okay.
But she wanted to talk to you about it. She was very interested and had a look about her face. But she wanted to talk to you. Well, I didn't really mention everyone else. She probably wants to talk to all, but it doesn't have to just be you. But you're the only one I brought up when I was talking to her.
You just me. To a blacksmith who's interested in mushrooms.
Well, interested, I think, in the weird mushrooms in the fungus thing.
The mushrooms and the fungus thing.
In the body.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I don't. Do we, the rest of us? Well, we did. I guess we do. I'm sorry. I did not mean to interrupt at all. I was just getting my timeline confused. We do all know about that. Yes, go on. I was thinking about the autopsy and then the fight and the. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we're looking for information about what's going on.
As am I.
Yeah, so I was including you in the we.
Royal we.
Yeah. So I think that might be a good lead.
A blacksmith.
Yeah, she's really cool. She knows, I think she opened an interdimensional portal once. I don't know for certain, but I think she did.
Doctor, don't you want to know more about that?
This is a lot after a funeral, but let's see what we can work out with the interdimensional fungus interesting blacksmith tomorrow.
Doctor,
Yeah.
you should know that here in Antrir, a lot of the local blacksmiths and artisans are of dwarven descent. They live in the earth, and so the blacksmith may have valuable insights that we may gain. So perhaps a bit of compassion.
Please don't mistake my skepticism for antagonism. I'm just a little bit confused, but I'm sure that this person will have lots to teach me. I actually learned quite a bit about dwarves and their culture while researching, so I'm sure that this person will be lovely to meet and hopefully provide something valuable.
Good.
Good.
We're on the same page.
This has been one strange journey so far.
You hear an audible growl coming from the doctor's tummy.
That makes sense. That tracks. That's canonical. Yeah.
Yeah. It has. You've
I was
had
kind of bugged.
you had a humble breakfast this morning,
That's.
and it is dinner time.
What is up with you?
Straight to the point.
I'm hungry, it would seem. Maybe we should head back to the inn, see if we can pull something together.
Yeah.
We rest, we regroup, and perhaps we should have a proper conversation. If we are going to be working together, that we do our best to trust and listen and work and perhaps actually be somewhat of a team rather than just separate branches and roots.
Weird as it may seem, I actually think you're onto something. We seem to be the most capable of solving whatever this is, especially you. I could really use more of your expertise and the ability to make some things that I don't have access to out here in these humble conditions. So, yeah, if we're going to be a team, then let's be a tight-knit one.
Point. Sorry, something in my.
I'm a doctor, I can help.
No, I don't think you can.
Well, let's give him a chance. You are very much capable in a fight, and
I don't need to be told that I'm capable. I'm
No.
one of the only ones who remained standing at the end of that battle, and I am
saw-
as hungry as anyone. I simply have not agreed to be part of anything except for dinner.
Point of
free
order
to
about
eat.
dinner.
Yeah.
We're going to the inn.
Yes.
The soup is maybe not as vegetarian as it was supposed to be. We just need to look into it.
Not what
We should at least find out if
What?
she's using.
well, we'll tackle that next.
Do we think that it's safe to eat the food in town?
as long
We'd better avoid the bread.
that is a good question. I have no reason to suspect anything other than the bread to be a problem. Don't eat the bread. Don't eat the bread. Don't eat the bread.
Won't we have already eaten bread last night?
Stop eating the bread.
All right.
If I may say something,
Yeah.
at least on my perspective, whatever this fungal infection you have discovered, I hope it is not something that is dangerous, but it clearly has not caused any actual harm to these people here. What concerns me more is how it has affected the church and what their perspective on this matter is. They are much more of an immediate threat to the people of this town, clearly.
I appreciate where you're coming from, but the people of this town are a more immediate interest to me. They are innocent and they are hurting, and I assure you the threat of this infection is more widespread than you can imagine. So
Can we walk and pontificate?
You already are.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, as we're going, I will remind you that what actually killed this town was a sword that bisected a young lad. And more of them are coming, as was clearly told to us this morning. They are going to be here soon. I don't know what time frame, we were not made aware. But that concerns me a lot more. It's an immediate danger. However long, I don't even know if I'm infected or not. But I've not seen anybody else die in this town for a long time from anything beyond just natural causes.
damage
I'm telling
control. We can only assume that we're already infected and that everyone else in the town is as well. So we need to make sure that we're saving as many innocent lives as possible while controlling the outbreak and making sure that we manage whatever infections are already there, assuming that they are already everywhere. Is that what you're getting at?
That's what I needed.
I'm just saying perhaps a little prioritization on what is that immediate threat. Especially, I think, with your knowledge, I feel, of the town, of the people you know.
I'm inclined to agree, but honestly, right now my prioritization is for dinner. I'm not doing too well. I need to take a rest. I'm in a lot of pain, so
Let us go. I apologize. And we go to.
This is weird.
It's the best.
It's fine. That's a normal drinking vessel. As you walk in to the river and sea, and Raywin, the large shock of red hair you see is pulled into kind of a little acute updo, and she's standing behind the bar, and she's kind of chopping some veggies, and she's like, "Welcome everybody, good to see you. Well, it sounds like you had a heck of an adventure today. Thank you." For one, also you're still paid up through the week. So, can I get you anything? You look famished.
Does she have any bread nearby?
Oh yeah, she's like, I baked it this morning.
I'm gonna pick it up and just. Oh, this smells wonderful. This is lovely. You've done so much work today in
Well,
our
of course I
absence.
have.
Do you mind? Is this included in room and board?
Of course. What am I going to do? Charge the heroes of Antrior for a paltry meal? No, of course.
Well, this smells divine, and believe me, dear, I know the divine. And so she'll just like sort of quickly load up a plate.
Yeah.
do a little thing, and just whoop over the fire. Nice use. Yeah, I assume you've prepared my seat by the fire, dear.
Well, I mean, I didn't really prepare it, but there sure is one over there.
Oh, indeed.
And I've got some stewed parsnips. I'm working on those, and the mayor dropped off something.
What?
Kind of fun. We've got a leg of lamb tonight, so that's being roasted as we speak. He wanted me to tell you compliments of the good folk of Antrior. So that's kind of nice, yeah?
How magnanimous.
I don't like him at all, but you guys sure seem to make an impression on him.
He sure was
The mayor.
mayoral.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen him in here before. But he made it a whole thing. He had the weird little guy that follows him around everywhere with the bloodshot eyes and
Gaius.
That's the one. Guy makes a lot of direct eye contact. Just too much. I feel like it's too much.
It's a lot.
It's upsetting to me.
Yeah.
And then and then they had he wrote things down as he handed it to me. Awful, but that looks delicious and should be done very soon. So I hope you'll stay for dinner.
Sounds lovely. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. I'm going to get right to it. You guys, I'm sure you've had a day. Do you have a change of clothes?
I would like to ask you if you have a shower.
I have a sort of. We've got a bath outside. But you pull there's a curtain. And I can throw some hot water on.
You know what? Being clean and not covered in my own and a lot of other blood sounds lovely. I'll get on that now.
Yeah, say no more. I'll throw a kettle on. It'll take a minute, and then
that's just fine. In the meantime, I'd like to talk to all of you.
I'll leave you to it. I've got a lot to do now. You guys are great. Thank you again for saving most of the town.
Of course, it is our duty.
Oh. Go. Sorry, I didn't know that was your duty. That's new.
As a concerned citizen.
Not character.
Yeah.
Both of you totally just said duty. In character, on the walk over here, Victor would have a lot of time to think. It was a little bit of thing, and the conversation that you and I just had, and they're just kind of talking about prioritization, is definitely rattling around in his head. This is a big issue now. So, I've been thinking a lot about what you said. This is far more widespread than we think, and you're right, we need to prioritize. We need to prioritize not only ourselves, but also everyone else. And the first thing we need to figure out is how to get that bread away from literally everyone without causing a panic. Does anybody have any ideas? Because I don't.
Kirk is eating.
The bread?
Nope.
Oh, good.
But she's just digging into everything else. I think better on a full stomach, my dear.
Is there everything else available?
Well, she's just loaded up. I mean, you said when we came in there was a bunch of stuff, right?
There's some stewed parsnips.
Yeah.
And some. This does not look even visually like what the poor.
A leg of lamb.
Yeah. Well, no, the leg of lamb is not quite finished yet.
Okay.
But the bread that she cooked, much more bread looking, less gray, less tacky and chewy. So it may not be contaminated. It's hard to say.
So maybe then Kirko will sort of settle herself by the fire and set her skirts around and stuff. And maybe she's got a little parsnip or just something that she's munching on. And while she's doing that, she will casually look at the bread and read the bread.
Yeah, same thing. You don't get the sense of weaponization.
Danger bread.
Okay. Less danger bread. It's that's probably not a foolproof cantrip, but you can tell.
No, of course it's not foolproof because the only thing I've learned is that this wasn't used as a weapon before. I cannot tell if my eating it will turn it into one.
Well, technically speaking, anything can be a weapon if you're holding it, right? You just have to rear back
and really just believe in yourself.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I could probably just eat it, and we could just see if anything weird happens.
Well, we do have one surefire way of proving it. Ember, and she'll just hold it out to the dog.
She manages to just barely scrape your fingers with her canines. Just subtle. But it is just devoured in seconds.
Brett's fine.
She too was quite hungry, it seems. Poor thing.
So.
At least here we're safe.
our innkeeper here has no Lucian leanings that we know of.
And that tells us an awful lot about what's coming out of that church.
Well, I also thought all this food was just a gift from the mayor.
Just the lamb.
Are you sure?
She said she made the bread.
She said she made the parsnips and the bread, and the lamb was a gift from the mayor, right?
That's what she said.
Okay.
Yeah.
But since we at least know this is safe, perhaps we should tuck in first.
Tucking in sounds fantastic.
Tucking in is wonderful. So bread and butter and parsnips.
And a short time later, water's heating up. Lamb's ready. Food first.
I'm going to demolish some food. Yeah.
All right, I'll bring you an extra portion up front. Thanks again for all you do.
I don't know what Victor said in that moment, but I'm going to demolish some food, yo, would have worked. It would have
I'll leave you to it. Tuck in. I'm pretty proud of it. I got to tell you, I've been sneaking a little bit here and there. I did a good job. She did a good job.
Great.
So I'm messing up some food, and I'm clean finally.
Yeah.
Anything else happening in this particular situation of the
I
night?
think
Can
Please.
Oh, I was just gonna say that Retha eats the whole plate and then is just gonna take the silverware and just pocket it.
Nice.
Righteous.
Maybe a sleight of hand check.
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna use Inspire.
Ooh.
When I make an ability check while touching the shard, regardless of its current form, I can spend 1 charge to roll a d6 and add the number I rolled to my check result.
Yeah,
You're
do
inspiring yourself.
That's a cool thing.
I can only inspire myself.
You're the most inspirational to yourself.
That's a cool thing.
That's a
nice.
6.
Nat 6.
So that brings that up from...
You really want this silver, man.
What was that side of... That's an 11.
11. I think most of you have a passive perception over 11.
It's a 14.
You see
17.
Retha seems confident that you didn't see her slide the silverware into her pocket.
Kirka didn't see anything. No, see what? No, I'm not here. I'm not a cop. She maybe will give you one of a little amused smile. Oh, interesting. I've just learned something today, and then we'll just keep. Oh, well, this is wonderful.
It's pretty good.
Everything tastes delicious after a hard morning of murder.
all Azad will say is, remember, balance is everything.
What?
Balance is everything.
You must be wonderful fun at parties.
Oh, I'm a hoot.
Is
And
the
as
least
you do that, he pulls out he's had a pouch and he pulls out a deck of cards and you just see him do card tricks.
Give me a performance check.
Hey,
Pick a card, any card.
pick
Yeah,
a
because
card
if he fumbles
anytime.
them, that would be so funny.
Yeah.
Do I?
That
With a total of a 1.
With all the swagger in the world, he accidentally throws
Wait,
several
you
of his
have a
cards.
performance modifier?
No, that's a 0.
That's it.
And
Oh.
that one, with all
That
the
was a pure
swagger
nat
in the
one.
world, he accidentally throws several of his cards into the fire.
Actually, can I do an acrobatics check and see if I can snap one?
Yeah,
out?
you sure can try.
Yeah,
funny.
that's the best.
That's
I love
the
it.
best.
Failure sometimes is the most fun.
Oh, yeah. Are you kidding me? That's the best thing that could have happened.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
know,
13 plus 1.
13 plus 1. You managed to catch one, but several.
Yeah, they all. She just maybe as it sails by, she just does maybe she's still got a little fire
She
left from
does.
earlier, and just and just ashes blow.
Yeah.
Very, very entertaining.
That was pretty cool.
Consider
The fire-
me entertained.
The fire was getting low anyways, so I figured.
Oh yes.
You see, though, he's he's trying to make up for the fact that he failed in his race.
You've got add 3/4 of a deck of cards to your inventory. Anything else, team?
Yeah. So as we retire in the evening, and I'm back in my room and I'm by myself, I'm just going to take this, and I have, a bunch of tools and things. I'm going to break it into small pieces and then file off any of the sharp edges, and then I'm just going to...
Ooh, snacky time.
Okay.
My goodness.
What's the weather outside right now?
The
Frightful.
weather-
The fire is so delightful.
I knew you were going to say it, and I'm so glad that you did.
It is a clear night.
Okay. Gwen is gonna sort of say goodnight to everybody, maybe a little bit early before they're done winding down. And you can tell like she is hurting, so she makes her way upstairs. She like puts her crutch in the corner, and she's gonna look out the window. And I'm gonna do a thing.
Yes.
I'm gonna do Omen of Warning.
Ooh, funky.
So I can forecast danger for the next 24 hours by studying the stars for 1 hour. The stars must be visible for you to use this feature. Studying the stars in this way gives you advantage on up to 2 initiative rolls, and the bonus remains for 24 hours or until the end of your next long rest. And I can also grant advantage on those initiative rolls to an other creature I can see when initiative rolls are made. But that's it. I have to make the decision before rolling the dice.
Very good.
Ooh, I like you.
Yeah, so like Gwen kind of like sits down, she like just brush her hair, she like stares out at the stars, and she just kind of like waits.
Yeah, it's a lovely night. You as you gaze up at the stars, you see one blink out just a little bit, and then one in a straight line beyond it blink out just a little bit as the other one appears. And that happens a lot. You realize as this swarm of crows flies between you and the stars, and then just perches on the balcony and stares inside your window.
Gwen will sort of reach into like her satchel where she's got like some of the leftover change from Kirka, and she'll put a couple of like shiny silvers on the window and kind of like shut the shutters and go to bed.
Eyes.
Around that same time, you see Azad also walk out and once again head into the forest, and once again removes his feet. As he
Removes his feet?
Sorry, removes his shoes.
Jesus Christ.
Surprise! No, sorry. Removes his shoes and once again plants his feet into the dirt and begins his nightly prayer and asks, "I hope you're well, Mother, and I hope that today's events are still within your plan and according to your teachings. I am doing my best, but it seems things are unraveling beyond my grasp. Any guidance, any solace, any help would be appreciated."
The cold earth to you feels like a warm embrace. You feel gratitude and welcome and love and radiance spring upwards through your bare feet, up your legs, through your torso, into your arms, into your chest, and it feels like a hug. You've done so well, my love.
I hope so.
Thank you for returning the boy to the fold.
It is, I hope, still in a method that you approve of. He has been touched and changed, but I hope it's still okay, and he will be fine.
Burden yourself not with his passing. Stay the course. I am so proud of you, and I love you.
Thank you. I'll do my best. And he comes out of that trance and heads back home, or back to his room, and not quite goes to sleep, but just goes into another trance. Waits the night.
Victor finishes everyone's leftovers.
Yay!
Nice.
Retha didn't have any.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
The none that were,
Kirka.
yeah.
She would
Actually,
let Ember have hers if
I
there
thought
were
would
any.
barely have touched his meal. So
Oh, really?
like small amount, but
I'm into it.
yes.
You're brought several helpings until the point where I don't know how many pounds of food that Victor can hold.
I never calculated.
Would he eat to the point where he distended his own belly a little bit?
No, it wouldn't be grotesque, but the man is dying.
He would have to loosen the belt buckle maybe slightly.
Hopefully, if he was real lucky, absolutely.
100%.
Yeah, needs to put some meat on.
There is a a startling lack of meat left on an entire leg of lamb.
The man needs some iron.
Anything else before you retire for the evening and get a long rest?
No.
Back to the schoolhouse.
Kirka and the dog go to bed.
Do you go to the schoolhouse?
rest.
Yeah.
Where else do I go?
I don't
Fair.
know.
Are you arrested?
Hmm?
Oh no, I already hit the button. I forgot.
You're fine.
I cheated. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I don't care that you cheated, but I will remember this. As you open the door to the schoolhouse, you notice that there is a fire roaring and a small cot has been placed in there. And there's a little pillow and a hand crocheted old, a little ratty but old blanket there, and a note that says, "Please knock first next time."
Where is it? So this is in the main schoolhouse area? So
Yeah, it's just it's this is literally a school room.
Yeah. So there's desks, there's the
classroom.
teacher's desk there's stairs, so on. So Victor just, digs around a minute, puts a coin, gold, whatever, just a good amount there on the teacher's desk and goes to bed.
Yeah. It's a better night's sleep than last night.
Oh, hopefully so.
Morning comes. You wake fairly well rested, extremely well fed, maybe a little overfed.
Long rest go.
Long rest go. As the day meets you, what would you like to do?
I think we wait, or at least Azad will wait for the call.
Well, we have some docket items, right? Like,
Yeah, I'll tell
Wait.
it.
You
I
guys
told
have
y'all
an
over
adventure.
dinner
You guys
about
have a
that-
date with the blacksmith.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
have said that over dinner, so
and
everyone
you
knows.
also wanted to talk to the witches in the woods.
That's that's
we
like a
don't know
back
that.
burner item.
Okay.
It's just before I leave town, I just
Okay.
need to see them, but like we don't have to do that right now.
I need to meet a blacksmith. We need to be talking about how to get the church bread away from everybody. We need to talk to the priest about the church bread, and we need to investigate that further. I personally would like to be there for all of those things, but we'll see what happens.
Do we want to just I don't know.
Like we
run
meet
as
up,
a
circle
group?
up around
Yes.
in the middle of town.
A reminder that we do also have a messenger coming for us.
Oh yeah.
He'll come when he
freaking-
comes.
Yeah, I'm gonna be with this thing because I saw the messenger conversation. I wasn't there for the messenger
Oh, right.
conversation.
We're going to have a meeting with the dragon, apparently.
The dragon.
Can we just leave word, DM? Can we leave word with Raywin that there may be a messenger coming, but we've stepped out. We've got a couple of important announcements, or not.
Kirka has not stepped
Thanks.
out. I mean, whatever everyone wants to do is fine. But I don't think, hearing that and without knowing that these are vampire people,
I was going to
is that something you
that
would have
will be
told
something-
us?
Yeah, I was about to. I was
Okay.
waiting. Yeah, but like as I was mentioning the messenger, and if we do go, I don't know how much of a choice we have, but something you must know. When I touched that, what was his name?
Alexander.
Alexander. When I had contact with him, I saw what I thought is how he should have had his life ended, or what should have been his future, but it instead took me to his past, and I do not think he's of the living, or at least not in the way we assume to be. He's of vampiric nature, in some sense of the word.
You really buried the lead there. Is that?
I know,
You could have just
I'm
said
trying to
it's
be
a vampire.
poetic here, guys.
There's vampires, y'all.
Yeah,
He's a vampire.
assumedly so, yes.
And
And if he's one,
then someone's coming for us in the morning. But who?
he said a messenger, not necessarily him. But if he's one, and the pack accepted such a person into their fold, then that also means that there's either something of similar danger or even worse.
Well, who's to say that they're dangerous? I mean, we've got a vampire right here. You know,
I
I
am outside in the daylight, unless this is Twilight rules, in which case you can see that I'm not sparkling.
Gwen's eyes kind of sparkle a little bit because she loves giving you shit. And she says, I mean, the pack is obviously a group of, what's the term, maybe less than on the up and up, but that doesn't necessarily mean that every vampire is evil. Maybe he just wanted a group of friends,
That is not what I was implying. I was just
No,
mentioning that they
I-
are capable.
capable of danger, but
you know,
And
so
we
are
should-
you.
Listen, I don't want to be
So is Brad.
discourteous. Sorry.
But bread is apparently capable of danger.
Listen, I don't want to be discourteous, but a local group of potentially blood-sucking toughs is not the highest part of my priority list right now when we do have a very obvious epidemic at hand. So I think it's most important for me, at least, to go meet this dwarven blacksmith.
Fine by me.
Kirka, you're quiet. You're not usually quiet.
I am troubled. I am interested to know who this person calling themselves the dragon is. If it's all the same to you, as we have not yet seen this mysterious messenger, I would like to stay and wait for them, and then if they come in the near future, I will meet you.
Actually, if you wish to do that, and he reaches into the pocket and grabs another coin. Hold on to the coin. No, listen to me. Hold on to the coin. I have the other. You'll be able to communicate with us and let us know. Just hold it and speak into it. And if we are within range, we'll be able to hear you.
You're a very strange and intense little man.
Well, I never said I was subtle. Look at me.
Walkie-talkie coins are a thing
Did
in
it
this
work?
world.
Is this thing on? Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, it is. It is on. I hear you. It's right here. All right. Well, if that is the case,
Is that a spell? Is that a thing? You
I have
can just-
I have messenger. Or I have message.
You have message
I have message as a cantrip.
as a cantrip. Okay. Oh, is that a kobold specific one?
Yep, it's part of my. I have what's called Smooth the Way.
Smooth the way.
When you choose this domain at first level, you embrace the roles of both Messenger and Reaper.
Mm-hmm.
You gain the ability to cast the message cantrip at will, and gain the sneak attack ability as per the rogue class ability.
Okay.
That's awesome.
So the message ability is you can use a thing as a walkie-talkie.
Yeah. So
I believe it's 100 feet and line of sight.
120 feet. So it says, you
120
point your
feet.
finger towards a creature within range and whisper a message. The target and only the target hears the message and can reply and whisper that only you can hear. You can cast this spell through solid objects if you're familiar with the target and know it beyond the barrier. Magical sounds, 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood blocks the spell. The spell doesn't have to follow a straight line and can travel freely around corners or around openings, and its range is 120 feet.
So you guys are going to meet. No, she's going to wait for the dragon.
I'm hanging out.
We're going to the blacksmith.
We'll be much farther than 120 feet away.
That's why I'm.
Well,
that's why
it
I'm
was more
curious.
of just a, it's
yeah.
a possible, rather than her having to run towards us.
Yeah. Do
it's
a
like-
little bit of guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a little bit of a, it's kind of like a little, one of those,
a big like a Vitrola horn
Yeah,
up your ear. Yeah.
and I just, for flavor, chose to use the coin.
No, of course.
I love
of
that.
course, yeah.
Well, it mentions something about being familiar with an object.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're both familiar with those.
Where's that coin from?
I mean, it is from a lovely people and a gift from our little forest over there. Not quite
Oh, I'm
familiar.
in game, but
Oh,
yeah,
from the
that's-
game.
I don't
Oh,
like
these
being
are
called
just
little forest.
so I do actually have
Maybe I'll go talk
as
to the
part
guy
of my
about the
thing.
bread.
What?
Oh yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out, do we want to just do, like, sorry, this is like out of game. Do we want to do stuff like all at the same time? Or do, like, you guys want to go to the blacksmith and, like, Gwen could go to the church and be like, stop serving bread, fam?
Yeah.
It would be significantly more efficient if we did it that way.
I
Yeah,
feel like
okay.
if you two want to do that, I could.
I'm going to give you a
Yeah.
secret. It's not because I am your eyes, ears, and mouths in all of this.
But in canon, we made a wise time efficient
Yeah,
decision.
yeah.
Sure, if you want to be time efficient in the real world,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. If you want to be time efficient in game, totally matters.
Right. No,
fair.
that makes sense. You said that correctly just then, immediately the first time. I
I also
think-
like just like metagame. I just kind
so
of want to
funny.
see what happens when Retha and Victor are one on one.
I would love to see that as well.
Yeah. And actually, so the coin, as you were asking, I do have a silver coin given to me by a kind stranger that I've been holding on.
I
So
love
that is
that.
my familiar coin.
I'm going to add a little bit of extra distance with that then,
Oh,
because you're familiar with the object.
Okie dokie.
And that'll make that a little bit more
Thank you,
narratively
DM.
interesting.
Bandito, bandito.
Rule of cool, everyone.
The rulest of coolest.
Yes.
All right, who are we going with first? So I will say that you guys, Gwen,
Yeah.
You're going to the church.
Yep.
I'm
And you-
I'm following.
You're
going
following
with-
Gwen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Gwen and Assad, you go to the church.
Okay.
It's early morning. You don't see anybody right outside. And I'm assuming you go on inside. And you, as you look inside, you don't see anybody as well. And then you, as you kind of search the premises, you find the chaplain tending a small vegetable garden. And he seems pleased to see you. And he's like, welcome, good to see the both of you. I hope you got a good night's sleep.
Yeah, we did. Thank you.
Yeah, I you know what, gardening really helps me set my mind at ease, especially after a traumatic event like yesterday. I'm just trying to get some sort of normalcy going on. Look at me, I'm a mess. He doesn't really have his robes on. He's just got like some simple breeches on and just a shirt, no shoes. And he's just like, normally I'm a little bit more presentable.
He bakes and gardens? My goodness.
Well, one must
Lucky I'm all the way to the blacksmith.
find a way to channel one's more. Anyway, so I'm over here in no state of dress for entertaining. He's just like a normal person.
It's perfectly all right, Father. We're coming to ask you a bit of a favor.
Sure.
If you don't mind.
Anything.
We need you to stop making bread.
It's not that bad. I'm getting
what I mean is, we think that somewhere in the production process, through no fault of your own, of course, something is going wrong. And so the gripe that people are getting, we think that maybe it's coming from the bread. And again, we know it's not your fault. We know you're not doing it on purpose. No blame, no shame.
Yeah, no.
But we just came to ask if just for the time being, you might put a hold on your new hobby.
Of course, yeah.
And if you have given out any bread recently, and you know who has gotten it, perhaps you can go to them and confiscate it back from them, so that they are protected.
I mean, it's not much at all, and it was probably yesterday or the day before. I haven't done much today and yesterday there was a random streak of violence in the middle of town.
Fair.
So I didn't really. I found my other duties a little bit more important. I really thought I was getting better with the bacon. Apparently, I was way worse than I thought.
No. It is through no fault of your own.
And Father, if you don't mind,
Sure.
I know you'd mentioned you were getting water from the creek to make the bread. Where else are you getting your ingredients from?
Well, I mean, the local farmers, of course. There's a market square, and you get flour there. And then I get the water from the creek because it's close by. But I boil it down. There's also a well over there. Occasionally, I'll swing by there near the tavern. But I mean, I'm sorry, I don't really catalog where all I get.
Oh no, it's all right. Have you noticed anything funny happening around the creek? Anything unusual? Any new sights? Any new sounds? Any
Caught some kids in there skinny dipping the other day. And told them no. Purity and all that, right? Well, they're kids.
There's nothing wrong with ourselves and how we come in. The mother made us how we are, right?
Well, I'm trying to keep them from doing just that. Anyway.
Have you seen anything? This might be a bit of a funny question.
Sure.
Have you seen anything growing around the creek that doesn't usually seem to be there?
I can't think of a thing.
All right.
It's same old. It's it's the creek waters. It's a little bit muddy, but that's why you strain it out and you boil it. I do the same thing with the well water, and you should too. Unless you're from around here. I hear if you're from around here, you can get away with it. But
if you remember when I first came, it was a difficult time, but I'm not much better.
You spent a lot of time in the backwoods, and that's normal for travelers.
And what about the yeast, Father? Where are you getting that from?
I've got a jar of it. It's just kind of you keep the culture going.
Yeah.
I learned about that a long time ago. I originally bought some, but you can keep like a little bit of the yeast, and you add some water and some flour, and you grow your own kind of culture. Is my understanding?
Yeah.
Smells awful.
Yeah, which this might be a bit funny, but Dr. Victor, our new friend, compatriot, he's something of a scientist, and he's learning a bit about bread. Would you mind if I took a wee bit of the
Of course,
the starter with me just to show him,
Well, if it's poison or whatever, you could have the whole blasted thing.
Honestly,
I might insist.
If you don't mind, do you mind if I just take the whole jar for now?
Oh, don't open it in polite company.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. Yeah. Oh, of course, dear.
Yeah.
Thank you, Father.
Yeah, I'll be right back. Oh, sorry.
No.
And while he steps out, Gwen's gonna look at Azad and say, I think we should also probably get some water from the well and probably from the creek, and bring it back to Dr. Victor, because something's not right here.
If that is what is needed, perhaps the well as well.
Yeah.
Considering he also gets it from there. Actually, do we want some of his flour as well? Considering we are trying to analyze all the ingredients.
Yeah, it might not be, if he doesn't mind.
He comes back with his starter. All right. I named it the Wretch. There you go. She's grouchy, is what she is. Again, a little farty if you open it.
If I may, as he puts his jar out, I was like, I hope you don't mind. And I just open the pouch, just drop it in there.
Oh, well, I mean, you can't smell the jars here.
It's more about just what it could potentially be containing rather than...
I gotta tell you, I'm gonna find another hobby besides bacon, I'll tell you that.
No, you were doing fantastic, and perhaps bread currently, for temporary purposes, is out of the question, but it doesn't mean you need to stop, and there's more ways you can serve, as you already know.
Perhaps a soup, a good vegetable soup.
Always lovely.
Always. Well, we'll see tomorrow.
Season it well, and that will be great.
Is it seasoning? Salt?
Oh dear, I forgot. 5 years and I'm still not used to this bland stuff. Indeed, yes, salt. Salt it.
I'll
salt it
well.
appropriately.
I'll
not
be
well,
generous,
appropriately.
Generous with the salt.
Oh dear.
And Father,
Hey.
for now, no mushrooms in the soup, all right?
All right. Well, okay. Yeah, sure. Normally I'd just buy them from the market if I was going to put mushrooms in there, because I'm not good at picking out which ones will, they're good ones, which ones will make you see them other.
All right. Well, we don't want to keep you any longer. But Azad, do you want to go to the market maybe and see
Yes.
what's what?
Yeah,
Right.
that sounds great.
All right. Well, and he starts putting his shoes back on. It's been lovely visiting with you.
Yeah,
If you need anything at all, let me know. You have a blessed day, Azad.
Always. Shall we?
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna say that you remembered to check the flour, and he brought you some.
Yes,
Okay,
yeah, sorry.
yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
I got your back.
Retcon,
Jesse Jerdak has your back. Are we going to the blacksmith next, or do we?
I also took ample notes of that, even though I'm not supposed to. So if you tell me later, I know.
Yeah.
it's fine.
Let's go to the blacksmith, and I have a reason for this.
Yep.
It's just because narratively it'll make more sense if we do the messenger thing last.
Yeah.
You as you approach the blacksmith, an unlikely pair, a tall, thin man, and a fairly robust half dwarf.
When we get to the blacksmith, because I have the scholar background,
Yeah.
I actually speak Dwarvish.
Nice.
So if this is a Dwarvish person,
This is
I'm
Dwarvish person.
just gonna say a common hello and how are you and everything in
Scottish
her language.
accent.
I'm not
I
gonna
want it.
No, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do
It's
it.
not for everyone.
It's really not.
Bold of you to assume I don't have a conversation as we're going to the blacksmith.
Oh, okay, yeah, no. So
Yeah.
that happens later. Let's talk.
Real quick.
Yeah. We're marching along.
Yeah, we're walking along. So, doctor.
So Retha.
Yeah. Why are you always seeming like you're dead, dying?
Just
A very casual question.
yeah.
Normal question.
I got to tell you, I love the brevity of the question, and you're direct and to the point. Honestly, I think it's just maybe my age, maybe my diet, maybe my exercise, maybe it's life on the road. I'm just Do you want the real answer or the easy answer?
I would like the real answer is why I asked, and I was trying to be straightforward because I wanted the real answer. I'm not good at, the back and forth things.
I can understand that. I am... How do I want to say this? I've been on the road for a long time, and I give more than any doctor you know ever could give.
Okay.
Okay.
You're, literally? Are you, doing blood magic or something?
Wow, nail on the head. Listen.
Oh, wow.
It's...
I'm literally as smart as a person can be. I'm just weird.
Yeah, no.
Put that on a shirt.
Believe me, Retha, you and I are, a lot more similar than you might realize from that. I think out of everyone that I've met over the past few days, you and I seem to be more or less on the same page. I worked as a doctor for almost a decade, and I was constantly just beaten down by the reality that there are hard limits to medical science. I did research that you wouldn't believe. I discovered amazing treatments, and I made medicine better, but at the end of the day, there's only so much that you can do with a healing potion or a bandage or a stitch or anything like that. I mean, for goodness sake, we live in a world where there are clerics and priests that can call down holy light to knit flesh back together like cloth, and it's just absurd to me that all I can do is give someone my intelligence or my time or my stress. I knew that I could give more, so a little while ago I started studying magic. I started looking into how these amazing feats are able to happen. I mean, what kind of doctor would I be if I wasn't looking for the best ways to do things? And you know what I found? I found that life is like a tapestry, woven together by a beautiful thread, but death is what pulls the needle. At the end of the day, life and death are inseparable. They're one and the same. They are sort of actually the same thing, just doing different things, if that makes any sense to you. And what struck me was that only a god has the power to make life de novo. But us mortals, all we can do is play with it and toy with it. Death can't really be cured. It can just be moved, or really better, utilized. So I started looking into ways to do that, and I found that what a cleric can do is call upon the will of a god to make something work, but I can't work with bandages that choose to run away whenever I don't worship them enough. So I started looking into necromancy. Because what a necromancer could do is take the ripples of life that are there and weave them into something better. If you could imagine like a vast ocean that fills the entire universe, something that all the planets and stars are suspended in. Only this ocean not only surrounds everything, but permeates it as well, like light surrounds and permeates a glass. That's what life is. I call it the vital field. Just something that surrounds and encompasses everything. And when something's alive, it's like an excitation, a wave in that ocean. And when something dies, that ocean wave just goes back to its normal state. The field is always still there, but just back to where it should be. So what I learned to do through rigorous study was take a wave and pull it down, like pulling a mountain down, and then using the wave that comes out of it to push that excitation somewhere else where it needs to be, to heal someone by just pushing life back to them. It was an amazing, miraculous discovery that I've used to heal so many people, and I'm just excited to come here to Gallia where maybe there isn't as much modern medicine and where I can help these people who maybe don't have access to the best care and give them the best medical care that they could possibly imagine.
That's wow. That's a lot of information for me.
You wanted the right answer.
No, that's a good answer, and it provides a lot of about you.
Yeah, I would really appreciate it if that answer stayed between you and me.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna. Nope, not gonna tell anyone that if you don't want me to. Yeah, that's really interesting. I think the life and death thing. It's sort of a philosophical thing, you know. What does it mean to be alive? You know, sometimes I'm like, oh, what if I never died? That'd be weird. I'm gonna die probably.
Probably.
Most likely.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know. Thank you for trusting me with that.
Thank you for listening. I don't ever want to lie to anyone. I'm not a liar. I just knowing that about me has been a lot of trouble for me, especially recently. And I don't want to mislead anybody, but please forgive me if I don't always
I
share
can relate
everything.
to that. Yeah, no, that's fair. Yep.
I watched you pocket a lot of silverware the other day. I assume there's something going on there as well, and that's okay. We all have our secrets, and to me, you seem like a good person. So
yeah.
I don't need to know anything you don't want to tell me either.
Cool. Well, no, you have a great whole worldview and belief system, and that's good, and you should keep it. And we should go to the blacksmith.
We're almost there, I hope.
Oh, right, yeah.
Nearly there. Bravo to you. As you approach the blacksmith, Kirka.
Hello.
A lovely tiefling, a sanctus, walks in to the river and sea. Pale skin, shocking, alarming, glowing blue eyes.
Too thinketh.
Too thinketh. And she kind of inclines her head to you. Well, just the one of you then. 1, 2. Huh?
Just the two.
Just the two of you? Well, I don't suppose I'll be needing a full regiment. And she kind of looks over her shoulder and she's like, just the two of us, boys. And those outside might see several pretty tough-looking characters kind of dissipate into the crowd with startling alacrity. Well, are you ready?
Kirka has a cup of tea.
Well, finish your tea.
Thank you, I will.
Yeah, I'm not even trying to give you permission, just saying I'm willing to wait.
Would you join me?
Oh, I suppose I would, although we shouldn't keep the dragon waiting too long.
No, I suppose we shouldn't at that.
But as if you've got an extra cup, borrow keep. And Raywin looks over and kind of, she gives a tight smile. She's like, all right, one moment, Grievance. It's good to see you. Welcome. She's like,
What was your
thank
name?
you. Grievance.
Grievance.
Good name.
And she sits next to you and folds her hands very politely. She's wearing a heavy cloak, what appears to be some sort of leather armor. And almost intentionally, she flips the cloak off of her side, and you can see several very small daggers just kind of lining one of her thighs. And she's like, well, you've caught the eye of the dragon. That's impressive.
Well, perhaps for you.
Well, I got to tell you, I'm not exactly... you're not a tiefling.
No, I'm not.
Well, perhaps that's why. I don't know. I don't purport to know these things. I'm more of a messenger. Sometimes I deal unpleasant messages, but...
Would it be a better use of your time if you simply delivered your message? I would be happy to pass it on to my compatriots.
Oh, I would love for that too, and trust me. But I'm here to deliver a message that is you to the dragon, and that message would be your company, if you don't mind. I'm not trying to... Look, none of this needs to be unpleasant. It's just a polite conversation between people with adjacent goals.
Certainly. I'm delighted to wait as long as you are. Oh, forgive me. I think my tea's gone cold.
Oh.
And you'll just see her fingers glow white hot for a moment and just touch the cup. A little steam curls up. Yeah.
You can do that one too in real life.
Little prop work.
Oh,
Can you do mine next?
this and the
You
little.
are a special one. I see why the dragon wants to talk to you.
Should be good now.
Thanks.
If it's actually hot, I'm gonna freak out.
I'm going home.
My powers are so strong.
Yeah, so you've got a touch of the fae or something in you.
Something.
Something. Well, that's wondrous.
Well, go on.
I just wish I could do something like that myself.
I wish you could too.
Do you really?
Grievance,
Grievance,
is
yeah.
it?
Yeah.
It's an interesting name.
Oh, well, thank you. Grievance Voltaire at your service.
Grievance Voltaire. Marvelous.
Even better name.
Are you from here?
I'm from about, yeah.
I see. And what is your grievance?
Oh, it's more of a deed name, a family name. And this is a thing you might know. Sometimes Sanctus are awarded in the name that has to do with more with the circumstances of their birth than like a family name or even like a cultural name.
Okay. Okay. Ah, I see. The grievance was. Perhaps you were the grievance, I suppose.
Perhaps I settled one. I don't really know much of my parents. But I didn't want to go to the church.
And yet the church seems to have found you.
Well, they seem to find all Sanctus. But I'm not really a believer in those ways.
Well, I'm not really a believer in waiting for things that I need.
Well, by all means, we can go anytime you please.
So she'll finish her tea. We're waiting. You know, if hers has not yet arrived, then perhaps she'll just polish it off, set it down, and say, "May my dog at least stay behind."
If you please, or she's welcome.
I think it's best if she stays, don't you?
It's no problem either way. This
Right.
is going to be a pleasant meeting, I assure you.
Raywin will be going. If you could attend to Ember in
Oh,
my
yeah.
absence.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll just drink the tea. It's fine.
Bottoms up and pinkies out. And to grievance she will. Shall we?
Oh, of course. Please. And my retinue is largely dispersed. I'm sure we'll have some escorts unseen. But let us off. Trust me. You have no reason to trust me. But as a courtesy, once we get to a certain point, I'll ask you to mask up for my own protection and those of my organization.
Mask up.
And she reaches into a pouch and just pulls out a little blindfold.
Well, usually they buy me dinner first, but
She flushes a little bit. She's like, well, that could also be arranged, but this is a different order of business altogether. And she seems a little flustered for the first time. This very composed, very professional, probably assassin is a little frustrated in that moment.
she's a little frustrated.
That's me. That was pretty good. You're welcome.
Kirko seems to be the picture of composure, except for she's just constantly doing this. It's almost like a little tick now, just a nervous habit, and there's just a little smoke curling just down here, almost with her hand in her pocket.
You're gonna catch eyes with that. It's all right. People know you're
Catch eyes
special.
with- Oh, sorry.
Don't
Old
be-
habit.
It's fine. It's
You've got your knives, and I've got mine.
your knives are much more fancy than mine.
My teeth are quite a bit sharper, dear, too, I assure you.
That's pretty cool.
Thank you.
She kind of smiles.
I have a girl.
She smiles and she's got prominent fangs as well. It's like, it's going around. Well, should we off?
Let's.
All right. And you're led north.
She'll give Ember a little scratch.
Oh.
You stay.
Roll for scratch.
Roll for scratch. I needn't roll for scratch.
Lovely pop. I'm Raymond will take good care of her.
Does Ember growl? Okay.
Nah.
Ember actually just does a little hopeful dog look, little maybe.
Yeah, we can like, are you leaving?
No. Okay.
Made me a little nervous.
Yeah,
Not
it's
a
the nervous
growl.
thump,
Yeah,
thump,
yeah.
thump, thump, thump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so we're gonna head north for a little bit, duck into an alley. That's not going to be where we end up.
Certainly, I wouldn't think so.
Well, this is it's a matter of business. And as you're led northward towards the Cat's Crown part of town.
Northward. How close are we coming to the other places where I anticipate my compatriots would be?
Kind of the opposite direction.
Shit.
Yeah. Well, it's a bad time.
Okay, yep, so she's
Getting
just
past that 120
she's turning her coin.
Oh, it's a little bit more.
Actually,
little bit more.
can I do something? Actually,
Yeah,
as
we
we
can
walk
be
out,
more.
I'm gonna just
Flip your coin.
flick my coin to Raywin
Oh, all right.
for your services.
And she's like,
If you
Thank
need
you.
anything
uh-huh.
at all, don't lose this.
I'll guard it with my life until I spend it.
Very well.
As you're led northward, people are looking. And it's not because of anything you're doing. It's the company you're keeping. You're led to a little alleyway. And she's like, well, this is the moment I warned you about. Sorry about it. It's unpleasant.
It is what it is.
It's for both of our safety, really.
As you say,
Look, it's
just do it.
ugly. All right. Sorry. Jeez. She ties you up. Is that too tight?
No, it feels quite nice, actually.
All right. Here we go.
Learning new things about cooking.
You hear a door shut almost immediately, or a door open almost immediately in your presence, and as a hand is gently placed at your lower back.
Oh,
Well, I'm not trying to trip you here, and you're kind of led clearly through a building, and then out of a building, and then down some stairs, and then down some stairs. So watch your step. They're gonna get a little small here in a minute. Down some stairs, down some stairs, down some stairs. Down some stairs. She's like, we can take your mask off now.
okay.
And she helps you with that. And yours is led down like this spiral staircase, carved into stone. She's like, all right, well, we're here. I like to be polite myself when encountering new guests. Not telling you what you have to do, but it'd probably be a choice mode of operation. And she opens this heavy door, and you see a tavern. A raucous, lovely tavern. There's people dancing. There's a bard playing a lovely tune, just lively. There's a pretty stout-looking elven man just dancing, just having a great old time. People seem a little bit inebriated. She's like, well, welcome to the pack. You're free to have some fun if you like, and I'll let the boss know you're here.
Oh, very well.
Do you need a drink or anything?
I think I'd better.
Yeah, belly up to the bar if you like. Somebody will be out for you here in a moment.
All right.
On the house.
When in the Lucian Empire?
And she kind of leans over the bar.
Theocracy.
She's like, on the house. I mean it this time. And you see a dwarven man with this kind of ashen skin and this white beard and almost coal black eyes. Like, all right, on the house then. Well, I mean, bottom shelf stuff is on the house. What can I get for you?
Bottom shelf, really?
I'm not that tall. It's all bottom shelf. All right.
Very well. I'll have your worst red.
Worst red, all right. All right. Here's a pretty good imported from Boris. You know this is a fairly good one. But since you asked for the worst one, that would be it for you. And he unceremoniously pours up. It's like a wooden goblet. He's like
Great.
just several glugs of and it's a little too much. It's a little too much. You don't
Wonderful.
serve wine like this, and he kind of slides it over to you on the house.
Okay, she'll sip it. What does she taste?
It's excellent.
Wow.
It is exquisite. Other than the serving vessel, the wood detracts, right?
Right. Yeah. Okay. Is this
A gift, right? You know.
from the bottom shelf?
Well, I mean, no, but the fact that you're willing to drink from the bottom shelf meant a lot to me.
And tell me your name.
Dugan, nice to meet you.
Dugan.
We all love Dugan.
We love Dugan. Dugan the barkeep. Dugan.
Hi. It's nice that you spelled my name like that. That's friendly.
Kirka Counterfire. Pleasure to make your
I
acquaintance.
like your last
Dugan.
name, Counterfire.
I like it as well.
That's really cool. So you're here on nefarious business with the pack, huh?
It seems so.
Sounds dangerous.
It is.
Bracing.
It is, Dugan. Is it as dangerous as working in such an establishment?
No. Well, it depends. Stay on the dragon's good side and you'll see the next morning.
If there's one thing I'm good at, Dugan, it's staying on the dragon's good side, if you know what I mean.
No, but those are pretty horns.
Thank you.
You look lovely.
I have a girl.
I'm glad you have a girl. I was just complimenting your horns. I've got a guy. You're not my type, but you have lovely horns. Did I stutter? I was just saying you had nice horns.
Thank you.
Drink your wine. I'm sure the boss will be
I
up to see you
shall.
soon. All right.
She'll sit and drink and
watch.
watch the music and
It's
lament
nice.
that one part of her laments that her newfound compatriots are not here, and the other part of her is absolutely reveling in the fact that for the moment at least, this feels like the party is for her.
It kind of is. Maybe they're showing out just a little bit. There may be some intentionality behind this. Maybe not. Maybe this is just how it happens in the pack. As you're left to your own devices, blacksmith team.
Opening with the dwarven hellos.
The dwarven hello, and you hear, "All right, show off. Come on in. Is this the mushroom guy?"
Yeah. Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the mushroom guy. I'm Dr. Victor Victor.
Pleasure. It just shakes your whole body. I'm Ardith. What can? So,
Ardith.
yeah, your friend here mentioned that there's something to do with mushrooms, and you care to elaborate on that just a little bit?
Well, Ardith, I've got genuinely weird news for you.
I believe it or not, nothing you can say will probably surprise me. Hit me with your weirdest.
We're going to test that today.
Let's go.
I have reason to believe that there is a fungal infection which is causing a complete epidemic in this town, spreading through people's organs, even replacing them slowly with mycelium. And that is causing, for some reason, the Lucian theocracy to send knights, burning paladins here to this tiny little town to murder innocent people, believing that they are impure and corrupted because of that fungal infection. I don't know for sure what the connection is or how anybody knows. What I do know is that people are very sick, and it has something to do with bread distribution. I'm trying to build the whole map here, but I'm told that you are very interested in mushrooms, and I'm hoping that you can tell me something to help us along our way.
No, I bleed and hate mushrooms, but nothing you said surprised me. Huh?
That's horrific.
It's awful. It's worse news than you realise. It's probably not the bread, but I'm going to need some tools.
Why do you know it's not the bread?
I said it's probably not the bread.
What leads you to suspect that it's not the bread? Because I put some bread under a magnifying device and I saw mycelium spreading through that bread faster than I've seen most things running through a field.
Well, sure, there's lots of simple starches in there. It provides a good growth medium, right? So, that's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. You're going to have to get the Marlstone.
Marlstone.
Marlstone, yeah. Marl.
Marl?
M-A-R-L.
How many R's in that?
Just one.
Just one R.
Just one R.
R, got it.
Marlstone. And you're going to have to get to my old lab.
Cool.
That's all there is to it.
You seem to know quite a bit about biochemistry.
No, I'm an engineer. I just happen to know of biochemistry.
Fascinating.
Look, professional to professional, having a narrow band of understanding of things just doesn't happen.
Of course.
Of course. So, you're going to have to get to the botany lab. That's all there is to it. That's all there is to it. You're going to have to get to the botany lab. It's going to be hard to get there, even with me. In fact, I'm a bit of a disgrace at the moment because I'm hiding and hiding. Well, you're going to have to talk to the dragon because you're going to have to either threaten somebody or pay them off. There's a high risk of infection. We're probably already all infected. That's an issue. Well, there's substances that could inhibit growth. Again, probably not just the braid.
Antifungals.
Antifungals, aye. Well, yeah, you're going to have to get to Marlstone. Get with the dragon. I'm going to give you a schematic. Hold on one moment. You're going to look for this and you're going to bring it to me. Yep, that's what's going to happen. Part of Barrelstone. How are you doing over there, Rita?
I'm good.
You are good.
Yep.
No, look at me. You're doing fine.
Okay.
Damn right.
I'm
All right.
good.
Yes, that's what I said. And
Yeah.
that's what you said. And you believed it.
I did.
And I meant it. You're good.
And you know biochemistry things.
I don't know squat about biochemistry. I know that it exists, and I know that it's a whole scientific discipline, and I know that there are people practicing that in Marlstone.
Okay, Marlstone.
You are taking this remarkably well.
I am?
Yes.
Well, it's a little bit my fault. That's why. So, well, not directly. Not directly. Politicians don't listen to scientists, do they?
They certainly don't.
Aye. And it's...
Bureaucracy always does tend to corrupt, I can tell you that.
So, you're going to go to Marlstone, and you're not going to tell him I sent you? No, you're going to either have to talk your way in, or you're going to have to sneak your way in, or perhaps you can tell him I sent you and then do a lot more talking, but it'll be a lot more direct.
Is there an option that doesn't involve talking or sneaking?
Now,
Okay.
fighting a whole lot of dwarfs, you'll lose, don't do it.
Yeah, no. Okay.
So, that's going to be the plan. I'm going to get you some specifications of a device. You're going to bring it to me. That'll help. Yep, they've got that down in the botany labs. Oh, this is a problem. You've got some way to... I believe her. Your education is really good, actually. It's pretty impressive. For a surfacer, you know.
For what did you say?
A surfacer.
Surfacer.
A surfacer. Got it. Well, I am a physician, so this is something that I'm pretty familiar with. I have never seen a fungal infection this fast or this vicious or this profound, but I am confident in our capabilities to squash it if we can just get ahead of it. And with my companion here and her amazing ability to make really genuinely impressively intricate, detailed things by just squashing.
I can't do everything that quick. I've just made those a lot.
It's wild that
practice.
that's the case. I am confident that we're able to get ahead of this.
Well, you're going to try and find Linnaeus Carroll. He's down there in Marlstone. He's probably the guy that you're going to want to look at.
And did I mishear? I just want to make sure. Did Ardith say just a second ago that she herself is in hiding? I thought I caught
Yeah,
that, but I
that's what
wasn't.
I
More like a self-imposed exile.
Okay. Yeah.
Wait, this person's name is Linnaeus Carroll.
Yeah.
No, it is. I missed that part. I was
I got
taking
that.
notes.
Yeah, I got-
Boo.
Yeah, that's fine.
Ooh,
No, but like, yay. Boo.
it's a human fella.
I would bet.
Yeah, yeah.
You're going to find
Really
Linnaeus.
good at naming shit.
Thank you. His parents must be very proud.
Oh, him. He was good at naming. It doesn't matter. It's fine. Fine. Yeah, Linnaeus. Arrogant though. Careful. Stroke the ego. Yeah, he's probably got some samples. It'd be lovely to have his research. We need to talk. So you and I definitely need to talk.
Okay.
And you're doing great, aren't you?
Yes.
Aye. All right. So, I am retired, and it's nice to just work with iron and work with steel. Right? It's nice. It's simple, uncomplicated, low demand. But back home in Marlstone, I was a scientist of fairly great renown, and we were working on a project that would make it much easier to get from point A to point B. That's
There's a
really
second.
all you need to know.
Some sort of mycelial network?
Ardith, I think I understand you better than you may realize.
All right. I get the impression you're pretty good for a stretched out fella.
Just gonna start calling him Stretch.
That's the nicest thing anyone has said to me in a long time.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Look. You need to be nice to Stretch here.
I think I feel like I've been nice to you, Stretch.
Good.
You've been fantastic, Retha.
Good on you. I told you she's good. You're good.
Yeah, I'm good.
You're damn right. You're good. So Stretch. How familiar are you with Arcana?
Quite a bit, actually.
Great. So the wizards of old could
Stop it.
teleport themselves, maybe a small party, from point A to point B.
Yeah.
You don't see it as much anymore, especially with railroads. Because, you don't have to promise your firstborn to a wizard now, or whatever it was before.
Right.
We were working on something based off of that Arcana, but with our own little bit of dwarven magic. And we were attempting to open a stable portal from Marlstone all the way to Brom's Crucible, which is on the other side of the continent. And it worked. It was lovely. I didn't go through, but we sent several sheep there.
Yeah, this is Brahms Crucible.
Brahms Crucible.
Wow, way over here.
And where's Marlstone?
I assume over here.
Marlstone is down.
Okay, well, Retha wouldn't know that. She knows first.
It's down. Moral-stone is down.
Directly under
Got it.
Antriur.
Excellent. Okay. You were willing to push the boundaries of what was commonly understood and acceptable because of your ambition and your desire to make the world a better place.
To bring people closer together. It's a noble goal.
You and I are absolutely cut from the same cloth.
Perhaps that remains to be seen there, Stretch. But
maybe you're cut from plaid and I'm cut from pinstripes.
Perhaps we are. But the experiment was unstable, and I tried to shutter it when things started coming through.
Things?
Aye. Not from Marlstone, not from Brom's Crucible, from somewhere else. Little filaments or something, organic matter started growing around the portals.
I think I understand. Black, sinewy, move kind of like a river that's trying to grab something, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, you're way ahead of me.
Yeah.
Well, I ordered the project shuttered. I ordered the samples destroyed. And when I did, they brought in Linnaeus Carl.
And Linnaeus Carl
took samples. And then I left. Not after no small amount of contention between me and the Underduke at the time. There may have been a slight bit of violence between me and the Underduke. And then I left. You could call it, I was thrown from Marlstone of my own volition.
Yeah.
Thrown of your own volition.
I chose to be thrown. And now I make horseshoes for people with teeth.
I've got an 8 charisma, but I'm gonna do my absolute best to try to just connect with Ardith here and just lay like a compassionate and like profoundly understanding hand. Say, I know exactly what that feels like, and I promise I'm going to do everything I can to make this right for you.
Well, I appreciate that. Don't make it right for me. If you see Linnaeus, give him an old one too, because I do believe he's doing something with those samples.
I'm a physician, not a fighter, but I promise I'll do my best.
Old one too, aye?
Huh?
You're gonna punch Linnaeus in the face.
I can do it twice in 6 seconds.
I believe you could. I know you can. I know you can, love. You're doing great.
I'm doing great. You said you wanted to talk to me?
About that, and also, here you go.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't do something silly with it.
No, it's going. I have a really good use for it.
I believe you do.
Thank you.
All right. Whatever this is, I finished my part. The rest is yours.
All right. Thank you.
These are the things that you asked her to make earlier, yeah?
Well, we were both working on it. Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to make sure I'm
the first.
I'm
I think
seeing
the first.
the right mimes happen. You know
The
what I
first
mean?
thing was, I think, the titanium, and the second thing was the thing that she was working on.
I finished whatever I could.
Gotcha.
I appreciate. I can take it from here.
Are you all right?
Yep.
You're gonna do me a huge favor when you punch Linnaeus,
Right.
and then you're gonna come back here and tell me what a great job you did, and I believe in you.
Okay.
Well, yeah, you're being far too agreeable. Come on, give me some pushback.
Well, you gave me a lot of expensive metal, so I'm kind of fine doing you a favor.
You're doing everybody a favor. Stay alive.
Yes.
Let the dwarf out a little bit. Come on.
I know it's okay. No, I'm gonna let out as much as I want to let out, and right now I don't want to let anything out.
Great. Perfect.
Okay.
C plus.
It passes.
Yay!
That's great.
That's 75%.
Yeah.
At least.
Above average.
All right. Don't just show up to Marlston.
I will be smart about it. I'm going to. I know people who are good at talking in things, and we'll figure it out from
You're
there.
going to need a favor, and I can't give it.
Okay.
Or you could talk your way in, or you could sneak in. You're not sneaky. I know. I saw you. Where's the other bolts I left you? I was like, hey, hand me those nuts and bolts, and I got like, that's missing like 3 of those.
I sort of pocketed.
It's fine, you can have them.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, okay, I know, and yeah.
I just gave you titanium. You can have a few rusty nuts.
Well, I didn't pick rusted ones, but
I heard that after I said it.
yeah. No, I
That's
just
the title of this episode. Rusty nuts.
Rusty nuts.
yeah, I took it and then I felt bad, but then I didn't want to say anything, so I wasn't gonna take titanium.
It's fine. You need more rusty nuts and bolts.
Well, I need the unrusted ones is the important part.
Let me. There's a drawer. What are you building?
I really don't want to talk about it.
All right, keep your secrets then.
Okay, thank you. I will, and I'm gonna see this guy and I'll punch him in the face for you. That's fine.
Linnaeus Carl.
Linnaeus Carl.
You got it.
Linnaeus Carl.
Oh, look at you rolling your arms. You are letting the dwarf out, aren't you?
Gonna go grab him.
Go grab him then.
I pick
Great.
out the non-rusted one.
Look after her, eh, Stretch?
Yeah, I'll do my best. She is always this way.
I know. Great. Go get your friends and contact me if you need me.
Most definitely. We have someone who is already meeting with the dragon. We should probably head that way now, yeah?
Yeah, where is that way?
I think we left her at the inn.
Cool. Do the inn.
To the inn.
KP and Kate, you were with KP.
Yes, we're together.
What are you guys doing?
I was thinking like we're just having a conversation.
I feel like we probably went around and got the samples, and like for ease of narrative, I will say that like we're probably maybe heading back towards the end. Like we got like little jars of water and that and we collected them and we're coming back to give them to Victor.
Gonna do a science.
Gonna do a science. Well, I'm not doing science.
We're going to meet up together.
On the way back, I would.
2 things I'd like to do.
If I may ask,
Yeah.
you left town, correct?
Yeah.
And you said you had roots here. Your father was
Yeah.
here. I probably arrived just shortly after you left then, because I don't recall meeting you on my arrival, and I don't recall seeing your father here as well. Was he still here when you left?
Oh, well, my father, Artur, I mean, he built schools all over Gallia. He wouldn't stay in one place for too long, so he built the school here, and then I think he went out to the capital for a while, and so, yeah, no, we moved around a fair bit when I was a child, and but yeah, so that's probably why you never saw him, but
I see.
Yeah.
But he's still around then, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
yeah, he's fine. He lives up at the capital, and he's more of a sort of researcher, scholar type now. He doesn't do as much, schools and that sort of thing, but, he gets old,
I see. Then what brought you back here? of all the places. I mean, you don't seem to have your family here, and you left for what seems to be a reason, if I
Well,
may ask.
I mean, honestly, I go to school up in the, well, I just got done with school up in the capital. I was learning a fair bit of magic, and then honestly, I just came because we were going to replace the school teacher, and, I was going to sub in for a bit, but, it's not even a very good story, it's just, I'm just sort of here to sit and wait and hire a replacement school teacher, and now all of this happened, and
Well,
what about you?
sometimes the most humble stories lead to the most grandest adventures, correct?
It's true, yeah. I just came to start some books and mind my business, and here I am.
As for me, I'm clear as day. I'm here because I'm here to spread joy and serve where I can. As you probably have seen, I'm not in agreement with some of the practices of the main church, and I also had to leave an old life behind. And it seemed that the further I could get away, perhaps the further I was able to leave it back in the dirt as best as I could. And in that process, I found my calling. I found the mother. She embraced me, and she showed me a life of compassion, of care, of love. And I wished to just spread it as far as I could. And that brought me here.
She showed you, do you get, if this isn't too impertinent to ask, do you get visions? Do you talk with her? How does that work? I don't.
I know it is hard to believe, and certain things seem implausible, and
Crows follow me around, so I'm willing to believe quite a few things.
They do they? That is
Yeah.
interesting. But as you have experienced such things, at least it feels very real to me. I have moments every night. I try to do my best every night to commune and, as I say, I know I repeat myself, but return to the fold and get the embrace every night and try to commune with her. And sometimes it's words, sometimes it's feelings, sometimes it is scents and sounds, however she feels that it is necessary to convey her message to me.
Have you tried asking her what's going on?
I did. I asked for guidance last night, and all I got was, well, I don't wish to presume, I don't mean to say all, but what I got was that we are on the right path, and things will turn out well. And perhaps it is fortuitous then that the ones we met here, you, me, the fiery one, the dead one, and the machine, perhaps meant to be here together.
You probably shouldn't tell them that you called them that.
No.
I'll keep that between us.
I appreciate it, but it is sometimes fun to see the colors of the world and all the wonderful people in it and how different we are. But in the end, we all are part of the same fold and the same cloth together. Ultimately,
I suppose that makes sense.
I see. I would assume that perhaps the messenger might be coming soon. One moment, actually. And I pick up the coin, and I reach into it and said, Kirky, we're on our way back. Are you all right? Is the messenger here yet? Shall we make our way?
Hey,
Hello?
Assad?
Yes, hello.
Hi, Assad.
Who's this?
It's me, Raywin.
Raven, but wait. Why do you have the coin?
Kirka left me with the coin and said to contact the coin if anything bad happens. And now words are coming out of it. And that's a very normal thing.
What happened to Kirke?
You're real, right?
As you will see me very shortly. We're making our way back to the tavern. Please tell me what happened.
This is what I was hoping would happen.
This, one of the pack showed up and she went with her, and then she left her dog, and she left the talking coin. And I've got a nice dog here, lovely dog.
And you just hear him start cursing in a new language. And he turns, You see what I mean? You see? Do you not see? Her arrogance is as big as the horns on her head, and I damn it all to hell. We need to go.
All right. I mean, she left the dog. I'm willing to bet that Ember will probably go find her, Ember, and then we'll do it'll be like a fun chase.
Let us hope. I mean, it would. In the nicest. For the first time, you seem very frustrated.
Gwen's just like, it's fine.
As you begin all converging on the inn, you see not only a short king, but an angry short king. Just turn the corner as you are headed back. What do you guys do when the four of you meet?
I'm gonna. Oh, you go.
Oh, I was going to assume that we were all going to say simultaneously, boy, have I got news for you.
We have a problem.
I say we do it that. I bet yours is different than mine, though.
Yes, probably. Well, the fiery one has decided once again to go on her own little agenda, her own little adventure, and as you can clearly see, decided to take matters into her own hands.
Fabulous. That can only go well.
Yes. Which probably means that she's with someone very, very dangerous.
Without any backup whatsoever, and without us knowing what the intentions of that dangerous person are.
Absolutely.
Smash cut to Kirka drinking at a bar.
Life of Riley she is having.
Perhaps she's even having a bit of a dance.
Oh,
I don't know.
yeah. Are you kidding me? There's a line.
They're wonderful.
And just at every stripe.
Well, she doesn't usually. The shoes come and go. She's not wearing shoes. She's just bare draconic foot right now.
Bare claw.
And yet she's very nimble.
And there are dancing partners of varying quality, but they all seem eager and excited. And there's a perhaps he looks to be maybe like half ogre that was running the door for a little bit. Surprisingly lithe.
Amazing.
Surprisingly
What's
lithe.
his name?
Did you ask him?
I assume in some point we've had. Yeah, she will have asked him.
As he's giving you a little twirl, he's like, beef.
Beef.
They call him a beef.
Well, you're quite thick beef.
Well, I sure am quite thick.
Beef, the finest cut, I'm sure.
Oh, well, I do cut fine figure myself, if I do say so.
Certainly
You are a bit of a twinkle toes. I'm a bit of a connoisseur of the dance, if you might.
Really?
And you are quite good. You're better than he is, I will tell you that right now.
I am at that, yes.
Oh,
can we then smash cut back to the others?
Yes.
Wonderful.
What an absolutely insane thing to do. I mean, she had one job.
We had a conversation, did we not?
We had a conversation.
This morning, we are all going to be together. We are a team.
It's weird that you and I are on the same side, but like this is very clearly like this is ridiculous, right?
I'm just utterly. But yes, let's all just go on our little maybe.
We'll all go in different directions. We'll all go in different. I'll go that way. You go that way. Maybe one of us will meet a bandit. It'll be phenomenal. It'll be great.
Do you want to tell him about the city underground?
There's a city underground.
Of course.
And there's a dimensional door in the city underground. And there's an evil fungus. Is it alive? Is it a monster?
Raymond is just like.
Well,
I don't know if it's alive. I don't know if it's alive. Thank you, Raymond. I don't know if it's a sentient, but it is everywhere, and it's a major problem. And you're not going to believe this, but we need to go meet a lot of dwarves in the dumbest way possible.
Okay, pause on this.
Yeah, table it.
Seems like a future problem. Right
you
now,
give me your stuff.
It's
How you doing over there? Good to see you too.
Do you want to smell this? It's terrible.
What is it?
It's yeast.
Nope.
oh, this is probably not the
Oh,
problem.
I brought this for you. Yeah, it's
It's the weird mushroom extra dimensional portal.
what?
That's why we have to go to the city. That's what's causing the sickness.
If you can tell me in an instant of narrative simplicity everything
the
that
elevator
you learned,
pitch.
would that be okay?
Yeah,
Because I have an answer for it. I took notes.
he's not going to make bread anymore, and I brought you some things to look in with the looky-loo.
Right. Okay.
That's called a looky-loo?
no,
No?
I love it. I want it.
I've been calling it that.
you can.
This This is I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. What were you
Oh,
saying?
I was just gonna say. I mean, you can call it that. It's like a rudimentary sort of microscope, but it's. Wait, are we talking?
Call it Rudy.
A Rudy
Call
Lou.
it Tim.
Tim.
No, I'm not
Rudy
here.
Doo Looky Loo. Yeah, sure. That can be what it's called now. That's fine. What you tell them the stuff you were gonna say.
If the water from the creek and the well is boiled, it's very unlikely there's anything that's possibly living through that. So we can count that one out. As far as the starter is concerned, it's a starter.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean that there isn't anything evil in there. What I am saying is that the evil thing that's in there might actually have a different source, and that might be more important. What is important right now is that we... Hang tight.
But I made little
That's
labels
it.
for all the bottles.
No, I think it's.
What
I think
is
we
important-
need to rule the stuff out, so it's probably good.
What is important right now is that you never open that again, and that we go meet the dragon who, I just remembered, is with the only person who we can't communicate with.
Yep.
We've got Ember though. I mean,
The Amber's patting the tail.
well, I mean, the pack people are kind of everywhere. Can we just go and ask one of them to meet with the dragon?
Oh yeah, we could just go find a street corner and
Surely there
start
are
a fight.
goons outside.
You know what? Nothing is beyond asking, I suppose. Go for it.
Okay.
Do you want to do it or do you want me to do it?
Oh, if you want to do it, you can. But I can do it. I can talk
Okay.
to people.
You're great at it most of the time.
I love talking to people,
As you
especially
stare
on
at
the
the
phone.
dog.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll head outside and look for someone who looks
Ember will
Why?
get up and come with you.
okay.
Why did we not send him?
She seems happy to be in your general
She's
presence.
Yeah.
stepping outside their comfort zone.
And she's pressing herself just as close to
Yeah.
you as you will allow.
Oh,
Like, just
creatures. Okay.
she doesn't know. If you
Yeah.
if you push her away, she'll move away.
No, she's not
But she's
trying to
just-
be. She's full of love, and that's fine. I
She's
just
been
don't want her
inside
to
all
be
day,
near.
and you seem to be going on a stressful errand.
Yeah.
She is taking an emergency tinkle.
Sure.
Yeah.
On
Yep.
me?
Nope.
No,
once
just
you
in
step
general.
Outside, she'll step
Okay.
like dog
Oh, the
stuff.
dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're not
She'll
reason.
step
yeah,
aside and she'll like pop squat,
Okay.
and then
a
she'll
hot Waz, if you will.
a hot Waz, as I've heard
won't.
it's called.
Thank you so much for remembering.
Then she'll
Brought it back around.
wherever you're going.
It doesn't take too long to see people just paying deference to other citizens that seem unremarkable otherwise.
Yeah, I'll go up to one of them.
Seems fine.
So fun to
Seems
see
like
how
a
this
great
goes.
idea. Hi,
Oi.
part of the pack.
Am I part of the pack?
Yeah.
What makes you think I'm part of the pack?
Everyone's being, I don't know, well, you talk kind of cool, and everyone is...
Thank you very much. I'm
Everyone is just sort of like, kind
partial
of
to the way I talk.
partying around you, and they're like,
Maybe they're just really polite.
they might be really polite. That's why I asked, because I wasn't sure.
Well, let's say I am part of the pack, huh?
Okay.
What do you need with the pack?
I would like to speak to the dragon.
Oh, you'd like to speak with the dragon, would you?
Yeah, well, he wanted to talk to us earlier, but my friend went and we didn't go because we were running errands.
So we sent an escort and ran errands. You get some nice flowers, maybe a muffin from the market district. Did you then?
No, I didn't. You said you were going to send a messenger, and you sent a messenger to one
I
person.
didn't say anything, but
Well, the pact did. I thought you all probably talked about all these things.
oh yeah, I mean we have tea every evening. So
I don't like this Pac-Man.
That's the thing we do a lot. So you see, let's see, you need to talk to the dragon.
Yep.
And I admire your courage. I'll say that much.
Well, I mean, we just killed a giant sword knight in the street yesterday, so I'm not really scared
Sword
of you.
knight, that was you.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, honestly.
Yeah.
All right, well, tell you what. And that is where we will stop.
I wanted you so badly. You get some nice flowers. No, actually, I got this, and give him the starter.
It's not the very thing that we're trying to prevent. Okay.
Thank you so much for watching. Roll for Initiative. Well, we played Tales of the Valiant from Cobalt Press, our sponsor. Please follow the link below. Donate to Doctors Without Borders. And Forrest Valkai, am I missing anything?
No, if you're enjoying this content, if you're liking this game, then please donate whatever you can, because honestly, we'd like to do more things like this in the future. So if you want us to help you, help others, help us, help other people as well,
But
then,
mostly help a lot of people.
but mostly help a lot of people, then let's work together on that. So smash that donation button more than anything you've ever smashed in your entire life.
Do not pass, only smash.
Yes, let's make the world a slightly less crappy place by helping some real life heroes. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for donating. Have an awesome rest of your day. See you next time.
Love you
Bye.
guys.
Next time on Roll for InitiaGive.
You see a mountain of a man coming your way. I've heard through the grapevine, through my network of associates, that you would also like to see the dragon. Respect, though, like he is a powerful man. Sometimes, like, some of the boys get a little spicy, and he kind of gestures up behind the bar, and you just see like a mounted elf's head.
As you descend the stairs and approach the entrance, you hear Kirka screaming.
And as you're led through this almost comically large door, an immense, what can only be described as a throne facing a huge hearth, gouts of flame exploding from the fireplace, and you see these long curled horns over the top. The dragon, I'll see, I know.